is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with exciting big news happening just minutes ago about your third stimulus check. Oh yes, your fourth stimulus check. Oh boy. And fifth stimulus hitting this afternoon. Everything is hitting like a brick. Let me go over the breaking details. A sixth wave of unpaid $1,400 third stimulus checks was just confirmed by the IRS, having just gone out. Yes, a sixth wave after 2 weeks of not hearing any more waves of third stimulus checks. Another one just went out. Great news for you if you've not gotten that $1,400 third stimulus check. Also happening just minutes ago, Wall Street crashes as Joe Biden announces he seeks to raise taxes for countless Americans. Capital gains tax, personal gains tax, corporate gains tax, bigger than anything we've ever covered on this channel, and it would cover far more than just forced stimulus. Also, on the other side, making great, incredible breaking news, is forced stimulus now has no bipartisan support and no incredible growth worries of the rebound in this economy, as the unemployment numbers came in and were relatively flat, and the Republicans came in with a counterproposal, and it was flat as well. Then, big surprises as fifth stimulus is heating up with SSI reform that could have the turnaround that you have always wanted. More benefits for SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, coming this fall. I have all the big exciting news and other items that are happening just minutes ago. It's a big afternoon. It's a big, big afternoon. And I'm so excited for you. Let's get to it. Let's get to Afternoons LA. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I almost actually removed this graphic from my database because I didn't think I was going to have to use it anymore. But away came the surprising developing news minutes ago. There is a sixth wave of stimulus checks that have now gone out. An IRS announcement minutes ago, this Thursday, yes, Thursday, announced there is a sixth wave of third stimulus checks now in the direct deposit routing. So if you have not gotten your $1,400 third stimulus check and have wondered where were the updates, here it came. Out of nowhere, IRS confirmed a new round of and then they confirm it's a sixth round of stimulus checks for third stimulus have just gone out. Wow, really incredible, great news. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. I gotta tell you, this is a jam-packed broadcast. You are never going to see the breadth of coverage on financial news anywhere like on this channel. And this broadcast is going to be exemplary of what's happening. So that's third stimulus to start. What's happening with fourth stimulus? Well, fourth stimulus got incredible great news from two sides of the spectrum today that signals that fourth stimulus, those monthly stimulus checks provided to you by Senate Democrats and House Democrats, is a go. Why? Because today the president got slapped back with a really insulting counteroffer by the Republicans that was actually lower than what they had been telling him for 3 weeks. And he said, come and talk to me. They went and talked to him, and guess what? They actually reduced their offer even less, showing that the president needs to sort of save face at this point and start by reconciliation. His negotiations have actually gone the opposite direction. They were at $800 billion with the presidents 3 weeks ago. Now they're at $566 billion. So they're getting smaller as he negotiates with them longer. The current proposal offered by the Republicans today gives no money for climate, less money for infrastructure than he proposed, and no change to the corporate tax code. Thank you, Donna, for the dancing bear. You know, from an optics situation, the president was trying to make it look like he was bipartisan. Now it's starting to look a little bit silly because the negotiator on the other side of the coin is actually getting smaller in their offers as time goes on. Time's going on, and it's time to start reconciliation. That reconciliation process is desired not just by you, but also by Senate and Senate Democrats and House Democrats. Why? Because they have a lot of measures that they want to get to the reconciliation process. Who gets these stimulus checks? It would be you. It would be if you make less than $75,000. It would be you if you're a household of four or less. And it would be you if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits. The payment of the stimulus checks, let's go over it. The House members want to pay you a stimulus check through the rest of the pandemic and then 1 year thereafter. That would be about 18 months of checks. The senators want to pay you stimulus checks from now to December. The House members are progressives. The Senate members are movers and shakers of the core of the Democratic Party. And the House members want to pay you $1,000 after the first month for about 18 months, $18,000. The senators don't say the amount, but word on the street is the senators want to give you more money faster. $2,000 a month over 6 months, which would amount to $12,000, or $1,400 per month over 6 months, $8,400. Cindy Jones, are we getting forced stimulus? Yes, you're getting forced stimulus if two events don't happen. And today we had the incredible great news that those two events are not happening. Event number one, bipartisan support, not happening. The Republicans came in a counteroffer today, which I have on this channel, but I'm really not going to go through too much detail of it because it'll put you to sleep. It's basically $568 billion. No money for infrastructure, not the complete amount that the president even wants for, no money for climate, less money for infrastructure than even the president's asking. And the pay it fors are not what he wants either. So he has to do reconciliation. The second item that signals why you're going to force stimulus was the economic data today. The economic data today showed that we're recovering as an economy, but we're not recovering at a faster rate than initially thought 2 weeks ago. I had told you that the current recovery rate shows this economy recovering by December. The vote on the forced stimulus is by July. By July, you would still get forced stimulus because the economy is not recovered. But my concern 2 weeks out, 2 weeks back, was when some economists said, April's numbers look really strong. We could accelerate 200% stronger in 2 weeks in April than we were in March. We could restore jobs faster. We could have more people on unemployment. It looked like that was happening a week ago because a week ago, the new jobless claims dropped 250,000 in a week. So the concern going into today's data was whether Wall Street was going to see 250,000 drop again in unemployment claims. Well, it didn't. It stayed relatively the same improving level. So the growth rate is consistent now. We now see over 2 weeks. Great news for stimulus. The new unemployment claims released this morning showed 547,000 new unemployment claims, about the same as the week before. Great news. We are improving as an economy, but we're not improving too fast. And then the continuing unemployment claims remained relatively stable, 17 million unemployed, which is an e-ticket to stimulus checks. 17 million people unemployed, 8 million jobs not restored. If those numbers don't improve substantially faster, quicker, then those numbers are still going to be there when they call the bill for a vote in July. And away we go. Now, the President of the United States got an enormous amount of heat in the last 20 minutes. Since noontime LA and afternoons LA, this broadcast, the President got an enormous amount of heat. And trust me, I would love to lose it as I could in this video. I would love to go onto a tirade, but I'm trying not to. The President, according to a new report published minutes ago from Bloomberg News, says that the president is proposing a capital gains tax of 44%, which would be a doubling of the corporate tax rate from 20% to 44%. The report also says the president's looking to increase the personal tax bracket at the high end from nearly in the 20s or 30s to the high 40s, that he's also looking to change the corporate tax bracket from 20 to 28%. This is an enormous amount of change of corporate of tax policy. What happened? Wall Street crashed. Wall Street crashed suddenly. Let me explain what's at issue. If you buy a stock, let's say you buy Tesla, and you do well on the Tesla stock and it goes up, and then you hold it and then it's appreciated. Then you go to sell it. Well, you get hit with capital gains tax. You bought it at 200 and now it's 700. You're going to have to pay taxes on the $500 profit. He is seeking to raise the tax burden of that to nearly taking away 50% of your profit on that gain of that Tesla stock. He wants to take nearly 50% away from what you made on an appreciation of a cryptocurrency or a stock or a car or a house or an investment. It's a lot. And what makes it even harder to digest is it's not for just the fourth stimulus. It's for what he's signaling for next year, what would ultimately be seventh stimulus. He wants to revise the tax code over and over again as he seeks to do this. You ready? Yeah, I'm trying to keep it intact. He wants to give $24,000 to children, and he wants to tax people to get that. So he is proposing to take the child tax credit, wrong graphic. Here we go. He is proposing under the fifth stimulus package this fall to take the child tax credit, which is currently paying children $3,600, and now pay them $3,600, not over 1 year, but 6 years. So he wants to pay them $24,000, a newborn child. $24,000 over the first 6 years of a newborn child's life. $24,000. And you're sitting back saying, where's my stimulus checks? Well, this is why you are owed stimulus checks. If there was ever a time and place you understand why you deserve stimulus checks, it's now. And let's go back to the big numbers for stimulus. The stimulus check is a speed issue. And now the speed issue is no longer a worry because the economic rebounding is not coming as quickly as we had thought so far. And the job restoration is not coming as fast as we had thought so far. So that is all really good news. Remember, this is the single biggest payout you have ever seen on this channel. $2,000 a month, $12,000 is more than SSI and SSDI. It's more than hazard pay. It's more than FPUC retro. But if you look at this number, it's dwarfed in comparison to what the president wants to pay those children, $24,000 for new children over the next 6 years. Wall Street was not happy with this news about all these taxes. And because of that, Wall Street took a big hit. Jack Ablin, Crescent Capital Management founding partner and CEO, said Biden's proposal effectively doubles the capital gains tax. That's a sizable cost increase to long-term investors. Expect selling this year of stocks if investors see the proposal has a chance of becoming law next year. And then Mark Cuso, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital, said fear of high capital gains tax rates could motivate people to start selling and a market correction. So some investors will try and front run that potential by moving to selling or short selling. Is that sounding scary to you? It should sound scary to you because it's exactly what it sounds like. What he's saying there is that the fear of President Biden trying to smack everyone with massive taxes across the board, including capital gains taxes next year, I'm not talking about fourth stimulus, I'm talking about next year, could cause a massive crash of the stock market as people sell now when the tax bracket is when the tax law is different this year in 2021, before Biden tries to put these new tax provisions in next year, where you could get a major hit on what you've made in life. Oh boy. So let's go to the other breaking news across the board. The other breaking news across the board is there's incredible... What happened? Can you see me?